Hi guys, thanks for joining us. I have Mr. Jagdish Kini, who's been a very successful executive, coach, as well as a business leader. You have seen him in various platforms, various forums. Today I'm at his home in Whitefield, talking about how to release the hostage. I like the cover a lot. There are a lot of significance, I believe, in the cover, especially the paper flights that you have, the different colors. Is there any significance?
Yeah, for me, an airline has to be disciplined. An aeroplane has to listen to the ATC. Therefore, they cannot change their route or what they are being instructed to do, whether it's landing or it's takeoff, because it's a question of life and death.
Yeah.
But our lives very often stagnate because we don't step out of the comfort zone. Now, I've shown those planes in a circle, saying that they have to follow it.
Yes.
But if you want to pick up something from there and step out of the comfort zone, then you are the yellow plane, and you can create your own path.
Yeah.
You can create your own path, and therefore create something new for your airline or for your life, which is an airline.
True.
That's the significance. And the cover theme was given to some 40-50 designers who came up with different designs, and 2-3 of each design, and then we chose,
I
think,
remember
4 or
voting for
5.
this one.
Yes, a few people. Then after we chose 3, I went to my friend circle and family circle, and I asked them to give their choice. This was not the number 1 choice. This was the number 2 choice, but it was my number 1 choice. If it had come number 3, I would have been doubtful as to what is to be done. But since it came a close number 2, I was quite clear that this is what I will go with.
For me, the yellow color was very attractive. It's very vibrant. And also the name, Hostage. Title had hostage in that. That attracted my attention. Most of the time we are limited by our belief systems and what we think we cannot do. We are holding ourselves hostage from the best life that we could lead. Right? That's the message I got. I immediately hooked onto this.
Actually this whole thing was somewhere started with, I was as an executive coach to Mahindras, Mahindra & Mahindra, the group, and they were doing something for the presidents and the CEOs of all their organizations. And they were going through a program which they are termed as Future Leadership Program, FLP. And we have 5 of us who were attached to a group of 6 of them as a coach. And they were going through a series at IMD and at Yale University, and of course we were coaching them in between all. One such workshop that they were all attending, we got to meet George Corliss. He's the world's number 1 hostage negotiator. And he was talking about his first experience as a young lad negotiating a hostage, a person who was holding nurses hostage. And the takeaway from me was, as a negotiator for releasing the hostages that are being held by whoever it is, a terrorist or whoever it is, deepest and deepest of empathy is required. And what struck me was, as a negotiator, unless I start believing the reason why he's doing what he's doing, I will not be able to understand him or his reasons. So that kind of empathy George was really talking about.
Wow.
And I had to, when I was thinking about this book, I thought of that same empathy which we try to talk about, us having empathy with others. But do we empathize with ourselves? Do we realize how we talk to ourselves? And I also, you'll see in the book, there's a model which I've drawn, which is taking from Judith Glaser's communication quotient. I put it in a triangle and I said, how does the communication quotient, it's not about speaking to the external person, but to speaking to ourselves. The internal communication, how it impacts our IQ, our EQ, and our SQ. And I think I realized that this hostage is a strong word.
Yes.
And I had used this in my workshops earlier. One of the segments in my workshop was called Release the Hostage. I run a 3-day workshop called Unleash Your Potential. In that one segment, one afternoon, one half a day segment is Release the Hostage. And I said that's a great title from the book, because I'm really talking about how you manage yourself when you feel you're stuck.
True.
So I thought, the reason I'm feeling stuck is because the way I'm thinking. And the way I'm thinking is holding myself back. The way I'm holding myself back is I'm holding myself hostage. So therefore, how do I release the hostage was the way the name came up.
I think this is brilliant. There are many self-help books in the market. Many of them I found very preachy and giving this is the path. However, those things are missing from your book. It's more like this is how my life has been.
Yes.
It starts with your experience in searching for a job. Even
Yeah.
before that, your career choices have been changing.
Yes.
Because there are so many external inputs coming
Yes.
in, and you kept
Failures. we always avoid that word failure, but it was
You've been very candid in your
and a failure because, I don't mind calling it a failure because I refuse to see reality. Call it young blood, call it conceited, conscious, ego, whatever you want to call it, but it was there, and I believed that I could do it, and I didn't put in any effort, and I realized later on that without effort, without practice, without commitment, without being consistent, you just can't achieve anything.
True.
So all those failures were all before I was 25. And I think I realized a lot of stuff in that period between 21, 22 and 25.
Yeah.
I went through a lot of metamorphosis, or where the caterpillar became a butterfly. It was that metamorphosis I was going through, and post 25, touch wood, everything has been achieved. So much so that even the quarterly results, which the Wall Street and the Dalal Street were all hawkishly looking at, was,
Yeah.
And I still remember in our meetings in Airtel, when Sunil others would come back with some shortfalls, and Sunil would look at me and say, Jagdish, kar do yaar. And I said, how is it possible? I've already taken enough. But he says, yeah, but give it a shot, give it a shot. And I don't know, somehow I always felt that, I may be an executive director for the South, but my commitment is for the country and for the company, for the country.
Right.
So if my colleagues can't really do it because of certain issues, and if we could do it for various other reasons, then we should do it. But my CEOs would always say, Jagdish, we've already taken such high targets. All our targets are 140% higher than last year. You still pushing us for more? I said, no, I believe that we can do it. Well, if you can't do it, it's okay. Nobody's forcing us. But I believe we can do it. So all I'm saying is give it a shot. If you give it your best, maybe we'll do it. Maybe we won't. But who knows?
Yeah, true.
What's our potential? Try it.
Absolutely.
And that's how we used to always exceed our targets.